I'm going to recap what I think is going on in the short form content industry or the content short form landscape right now. You can listen to me because I currently make over $100,000 a month. I manage 18 accounts. We post around 4,000 videos a month, and we do a lot of short form video. Feel free to fact check that. But anyway, so this week, things are getting weird out there in the land of short form content. I say that because you don't need fancy edits no more. But the problem is the clients think that you still need fancy edits. And they're going to resist. So if you're working with clients or you are trying to get clients, I think we're moving into a time where everybody out there saying quality over quantity, I don't think that's legit. I think what is actually factual is that you need a lot of quantity. Like, I think that the more the better. Gary Vee's still posting a shit ton of videos per day. If it was better for him to post one video a day, he'd be posting one video a day. He's somebody you should be looking at consistently if you want to actually get content that works well. Although I don't always agree with what he does, he always has his pulse on what's working. And these long videos, similar to what I'm doing right now, these are, people want this realness, right, Grant? Yeah. Grant's behind the camera, Luis and Dre. I have people around me. It's just always people around me. You should be careful who you surround yourself with. You become them. Dre smiling. Where am I going with this? Oh. So right now I've been really liking, I don't know if I like her. I like what she's doing. Her name's Meline Argy. She blew up on TikTok pretty early on, but she has then transitioned now to her YouTube. I think she has like 600,000 subs. I'm gonna look her up really quick. She's from Britain. She's been called Britain's Emma Chamberlain, which I'm a big fan of Emma Chamberlain. Emma Chamberlain is the reason why, I was so adamant on the big, bold, and crazy captions early on in the landscape of TikTok. For those of you guys that don't know, me and my team created them. Fact check that as well. You'll find out that it wasn't your Lord Savior. Let's see. So Meline Argy, she just posted a video on TikTok yesterday. 2 days ago, it's got 7 million views. It's literally her looking at the camera, saying nothing. 7 million views. The day before that, she was in front of the Paris Eiffel Tower, 3.2 million views. And then that's just on TikTok. If we go to her YouTube, now I work with a lot of really, really wealthy creators and people that make a lot of money. And they want the type of influence that this girl has. And they spend money on editing. They spend money on cars and jets and planes and all kinds of crazy stuff. That most of that allows them to accomplish their work and what they do. But for the most part, they don't need any of that shit anymore. Like, because Meline Argy is and like the old school Emma Chamberlain, all these younger generation, they're just talking to their camera like this, and it's that rawness. She posted a video on YouTube. It is 40 minutes long, 2 weeks ago, 48,000 views. Called Yacht Girl Summer. This is so stupid when you think about it. But she's pulling mad views. 24,000 on her last video, 30K 11 days ago. She's just sitting on a couch, similar like this. So maybe if I can get any of these videos to do well, then it's an ode to what she is doing. But short form is definitely, we are in the age of raw and authentic content. I know everybody says that, but what does it actually look like? It looks like no editing whatsoever. It looks like very minimal subtitles. It looks like if you are doing the fancy big bold subtitles and that's what you're pushing to try to sell your services, you're late. You are late to the party. You need to do more content faster, but it's still got to be good. What has and always will be important is getting good clips, helping your clients say things properly. Or if your client's just good enough, they speak things properly and they value that. Most of the people we work with speak very, very well. I'm fortunate in that. We don't have to direct a whole lot, but some people, they need that help. They need that direction. That is way more valuable than fancy editing, at least right now. I mean, we were looking at, I know Ryan Serhant just released a video. Luis was showing it to me. He got like 7.9 million views. He had Quavo stop him because he was just in the new electric Maybach. The video is ugly. The video is, half of it's not even in focus. Like, he's like filming behind a headrest of the car. And were there subtitles on that one? There was no subtitles on it. And it did 7 million views. I'm going to guess, based off statistics, that got Ryan Serhant probably 7,000 followers from that single video. Because on average, when you're working with clients or if you make content yourself, you can expect to get 1,000 followers for every million views. It used to be way bigger than that, though. It used to be, like, when we first started with TikTok like 2.5 years ago, you could get like 50, 60K from 1 million views. And if you were like a hot chick, you could get 100K from just like one video. Like I was working with my client, Adley, and you know, we did a video at 40 million views or 48 million views, and she got like 700,000 followers from one video. It's crazy. But it was a bunch of attractive girls in the video. If you're not that, if you're just a dude talking to a camera like me, maybe 1,000 per million. If you're lucky, it might be less. So you got to make more. But point being is, I don't know where I was ranting here. Less focus on edits. And if you're working with clients, this is a hard thing. This is like something that we're dealing with right now. I just started with a new client, and my pitch to that new client was, let me just run your TikTok for the next 30 days. You don't have to pay me. I just want you to trust me to know that we're going to do a good job, and we're going to make this shit look really good, and we're going to get results. She does a lot of the fancy edits. I'm trying to move away from that and go to the more simple, very fast-paced, more precise cuts, but more behind-the-scenes feel, which the clients will resist because they have brands and they have this attention on them. And they're like, I need the best, I need this. But the problem with, you know, making videos of this caliber is the more fancy the edit, the longer it takes. If you can pump out more videos faster, you will win in the end, especially if you have a clue on what types of clips do good or what you're actually looking for. You just got to pump them out, and it's a volume game at that point. So that's just something I've been seeing. What else have we been seeing, Luis?
Can we talk about the value of attention right now?
Okay, so Grant wants to talk about the value of attention. I'm gonna springboard off my friends here for advice so these videos are entertaining for you. But we're not going to be editing these. So if you want fast-paced stuff, maybe watch my short form. The value of attention right now, everybody wants attention. And everybody's paying a lot of money for attention. And I mean, you can see the lengths people will go for attention, because if anybody's watched anybody's stream lately, these fucking idiots on streams are ridiculous. You got like the Neons, the Jack Dohertys, the Sneekos, all these people. Like, I don't really know what kind of value they're bringing to society, but it just shows you that the internet doesn't really care about value. They want to be entertained. And that's another thing. If you're an educator and you're not entertaining, you will fail. There is a level of education that has to happen, I think, inherently to a degree, but you have to be entertaining. And that could be a myriad of different things. The way that I'm seeing it is it needs to be delivered in an entertaining way. And you can work on your delivery. I personally watch a lot of comedians. I love stand-up. I don't find myself very funny, but I like watching comedians deliver their jokes because you can see their mannerisms, you can see how they talk. And the ability to be witty is a skill that I think if you're gonna make content, you should get really good at. As for other things, like that video I referenced with Ryan Serhant, it was entertaining because he was in an electric Maybach. That's not something you see every day. So if you're inherently a boring person, put yourself in front of a Lamborghini and you became more entertaining. So you have to be mindful of where you're shooting, how you're shooting, and what that looks like, because that could add to the entertainment aspect of your videos. And everybody's different. This is not a one size fits all. Like, I don't have a Lamborghini. I have an old Porsche Cayenne. It's lifted though, so I think it's cool. So I should probably do videos in front of it. But, you know, I have cool sets here in my studio. So if we need to use those, we can use those. But I think the more you get out of a studio and you start filming content in real life, the better off you're going to be, because that behind the scenes, people love that behind the scenes. So, but attention is getting expensive. Like, I don't know what do ads cost these days? Do you know?
Like, it depends on CPM.
Like, I mean, ads are based, I would have to guess, if you base everything off like the TikTok Creativity Fund, which is, if you guys aren't familiar, if you make videos over a minute on TikTok, you qualify to get ad revenue from those videos. And I personally have seen roughly $1.20 CPM, which means that for 1,000 views, it makes me $1.20, which that means that that's probably similar to where somebody's paying for 1,000 views. You know, so that would make $1 million, roughly $1,000. So that's what you make off $1 million. So they're probably charging the consumer maybe a little bit more. So we'll say it costs $2,000 to reach 1 million people, maybe 3,000. I'm not sure on the numbers. But the point being is, it's expensive to reach 1 million people in today's economy / social media landscape is expensive. We just prefer to do it based on mass organic videos. And I think that you still have a massive opportunity. If you're trying to get attention, just make more videos. And don't get bogged down by how fancy they are. Put them out there.
What do you think about business owners who still undervalue attention?
Do business owners still undervalue attention? Grant asked me what do I think of business owners if they undervalue attention? I don't think they'll be business owners for much longer if they think like that. like it's weird if you go to a business and they don't have a good Instagram these days. Like, and good meaning like they're posting something. Most people don't really care what's going on their Instagram, but they are at least actively trying. You know, it's like and if you're working with clients and you're like trying to get clients and you have to explain why somebody needs to be on Instagram, you should run. Like, that is not an argument or conversation that you should entail, because I can assure you that client's not going to last very long, because your prices are probably more expensive than they're comfortable paying, and they don't see a value in it whatsoever, so you're fighting an uphill battle. Only work with people if they know the value of videos on the internet. But I think, attention is going to continue to just get more and more scarce. Like, you can see it now. Look at it was significantly easier 2 years ago to get 1 million views on TikTok than it is right now. The saturation point is massive. Like, we have a lot of people making videos every day. I think it was like 40. What did I say, Louis? It was like 43. Like, how many videos are being posted on TikTok every day? I looked up this stat. It was fascinating. Hang on. How many? I'm being my own Jamie right now. Jamie's Joe Rogan's guy. Every day. I think it's like 34 million videos are posted on TikTok every single day. Let that sink in. What do you think that costs? Like, we got to give props to like TikTok and Instagram because they can house all that. Like, imagine what it costs, like these things called servers and like upload speeds and shit. I don't know. Shout out to TikTok. I've been a fan since day one. Shit's not getting banned. Are we still talking about that? Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
People are still afraid of TikTok getting banned. If you are afraid of TikTok getting banned, you should be posting more on it right now. Because like I am. I want to post more. Because if you get banned, shit's going to go somewhere. Just have to be there first. But 34 million videos are posted every day. It's probably very similar to Instagram too. It's probably more on Instagram because people are afraid of TikTok. But 34 million videos every day. How are you going to stand out from that? That's almost impossible. Like, that's like 0.0001% of people going viral when you're posting that many videos a day. So it's really hard. And to do that, like, you gotta take this shit seriously. You cannot half-ass making videos anymore. Like, and if you do, you get half-ass results. So, I don't know. I was ranting on that one. These are just rants. So
who have you shot with recently? You can talk about.
Who have I shot with? So recently shot with Brandon Carter. He's a friend of mine. We help him with his short form. We have for almost 2 years now. It's gotten harder to get his videos to get views. And he's a very polarizing person. He hasn't had a carb in like 8 years. Like, that's the length he goes to be shredded on camera. So let that sink in. People do a lot. I don't think people realize, Grant, behind the scenes what people do to show up on camera. Like, I love using Brandon as an example because he loves designer clothes. He will go shopping and he will get thousands of dollars in designer shirts and clothes to have for his videos. And, you know, this is even getting harder to stand out. And that used to make him stand out very well, but it's getting harder. Like, it's not as easy. But that's still, that level of care, like, most people don't have that. I mean, we've showed up for clients. We showed up and some guys wearing a fucking Santa hat one time. That was like the worst. That was the worst fucking filming experience of my life. Never going to do that again. But I didn't vet that client very well. Showed up wearing a Santa hat. Anyways, I digress.
Where did you travel to? Tell me about your recent.
Oh, recently I was in Miami, and that was with Brandon Carter. Next week, though, we got a big week. Next week I'm going, or not next week, the following week. Myself and Luis, I'm actually going to be interviewed on a podcast at SoFi Stadium with David Meltzer and one other guy. They have like a co-host thing. Excited about that. I've never been to a podcast at, I believe it's a football stadium. Do you know? Yeah,
Stadium.
It's a Ram Stadium, SoFi Stadium. I'm not a big sports guy. I like extreme sports. But they have a podcast studio apparently in there. If that doesn't tell you how important podcasting is, the fucking Ram Stadium has one built in. There's also an amazing one at the Wynn, which is the greatest hotel. If you haven't been to the Wynn, the carpet's amazing. I have multiple videos about Wynn's carpet. Like, Savannah's there right now. I cannot wait to interview her about the Wynn carpet when she gets back. Like, have you been to the Wynn? You haven't been to the... Yeah, we made a video, but you've not been yet.
I haven't been.
Okay.
I was with you last year.
Oh, yeah, you were there. We were in Vegas. But where else am I going? So the podcast is in SoFi Stadium in L.A., and then I'm supposed to be interviewed for a documentary the next day, but I haven't got confirmation of that yet. But if that doesn't come through, then I'm going to visit my friend Rich Summers in San Diego. I'm going to be on his podcast on Wednesday. And then Wednesday night, we're flying from San Diego to Salt Lake City to work with two of my other clients, Epic Dental. They're a chewing gum company. We help them go viral, get lots of views, and they sell a crap ton of gum. They value attention a lot because virality has gotten them millions of dollars in chewing gum sales, which I think is awesome. But after that, what else we got?
Talk to me about what you do when you go on these trips. Like, what is your usual spiel? Are you eating somewhere? What are you doing?
Am I eating?
Yeah, what are you doing? Are you going to do something for fun? What do you do?
Well, normally, I mean, it's gotten harder to separate my trips from Ryan Magin personal brand to Ryan Magin running viral edits, which is my agency side. Some of them are now kind of coming together, and we're like doing like a tour. This would be like a little tour of the West Coast because I want to get on more podcasts because I tend to speak very well on some podcasts, and I'm working on that so that my team can clip good stuff from podcasts. It gives a lot of variety to the feed if you're posting a lot of videos, as well as there's just something authoritative about being on a podcast. I don't think podcasts will ever go anywhere. I do think people starting podcasts to like grow is a bad idea. I think being on people's podcasts so you can get clips is a great idea, but growing your own podcast, I just think there's better uses of time. But, point being, this is like a client trip after that. And the client trips are pretty, like, we don't really fuck around. We come in, we're usually kind of tight on the schedule. So we usually fly in the day before. And then the goal is mass volume of videos. And this can be different for each client, but ultimately, I offer my clients 2 posts a day, every day. So we have to post a minimum of 60 videos a month or else I'm breaching contract. And I don't like to breach contract because it's a contract for a reason. And I have contracts with my clients because it provides them safety. It provides me safety. This is what we agree on. This is what everything's paid for. I wasn't always big on contracts when I started, but I worked with a lot of higher level people and they explained to me the importance of contracts. So if you don't have contracts, you should have them. It just makes things a little more legit. It's actually expensive to send contracts. DocuSign costs me like $100 a month.
You have Dropbox subscription?
I have DocuSign.
If you use Dropbox subscription, it's free.
Interesting. But Dropbox sucks. Clients hate Dropbox. Clients love Google Drive.
I still want to hear about, so like, for example.
But yeah, so with this in case, we're going to Epic Dental. So next week, early in the week, me and Luis will probably sit down for an hour or so. At least that's always the plan. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. And then we're going to brainstorm a bunch of topics and things, basically looking at the past performing videos that did well for the client, what went viral, what didn't go viral, what tanked, what didn't tank, and then studying the data because the data is your friend in this situation. You don't want to make videos based off emotion. You want to make videos based off the data that's presented to you. And we post a lot of videos for them. So we see a lot of good videos and a lot of failing videos. And that's the nature of the game. So we do less of the failing, more of the good, and ultimately more videos get more views and they get more exposure, they get more attention, and they make more money. But yeah, it's usually, we'll come up with, I don't know, it's usually like 50 to 100, like outline topics. And then, then we'll talk to the client. They usually have topics they want to cover too. And that's where we kind of help them. Let's say, okay, they want to cover this, so these topics. So let's kind of see what we can do because based on what we see versus what they want. And then we work together. It's more of a collaborative effort. And I found that the best clients tend to collaborate with you over than just rely on you to do everything. That's not saying that you don't have to do a lot for the client, but the best ones that we work with, they have a lot of ideas too. They're naturally creative people. So, yeah. And then we show up there and we film all day long. 2 days. We usually eat dinner with the client. It's like a full immersion of the client and the experience. And then we come home and then the team goes to work, editing the videos, and they get posted. And then we do it, 3-4 months. We'll do it all over again. It's a kind of a grind. But it's what's necessary. I don't know that you could do it any other way.
The last few months, where's been the best place you visited and what did you do there?
The last few months, the best place I have visited. Let's see. I mean, Miami was fun because Miami was a mixture. I don't necessarily always love Miami, but I went to a mastermind in Miami. It's the first mastermind I ever joined. Eddie Malouf has become a friend of mine, Ashton Shanks. They run agency founders is their mastermind. It's for agency owners. To be in it, you must be doing 7 figures a year or very close. So they had their I think it's we do 2 meetups a year. and then they have a big event. This is one of the meetups. It was at a nice house in Miami. There was about 40 people. And it was awesome just being around other agency owners, people, surrounding yourself with people that have similar problems and or different problems. I mean, it's not cheap. I think I paid like $26,000 for the year to attend these. So it's a significant financial investment, which for me really makes me care. So when I go there with a purpose. I go there with a lot of questions. I go there with a lot of things that I want specifically answered. And whether it be from Eddie or Ashton themselves or other people, you usually always leave with more than enough information to fix the problems that I'm currently facing in the company. And my current problems, which we're working on, is like posting. It's a big deal for me to post because we're posting like 100 videos a day in the company. I churn posters a lot because it's like a position I can't really pay a lot of money for. And I also, this change in the, with what I charge clients, we have a high expectation and high pressure that comes with what we do. And with the landscape constantly changing, it's how, I always look for help on managing those expectations and managing how I deal with the clients, get them set the right expectations, plus just continue to deliver and over deliver on all the results. So those are some problems and stuff that I'm working through. But I would say that was the best way. But next month, I'm actually going on a 10-day cruise. Pretty excited about that. We're going on the Icon of the Seas, which is like the biggest cruise ship ever. At least to date. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm just going with my family. I did not buy the Wi-Fi package, which means I'm technically going to be disconnected for 10 days. And I don't know how I feel about that yet. I feel a level of anxiety overriding my body right now. Because I am the guy that checks my phone first thing in the morning. And before I go to bed, and 700 fucking times throughout the day. And then I check the 18 different Slacks that I'm a part of, and or the Google Drive, and all the different things. It's going to be tough. I'm going to get through it. If you're watching this and you enjoyed it, leave me a comment below. Like the video. I don't know if that actually helps. People say it does. And then leave a comment, and then I will answer it next week. And these are going to be informal, super casual. And subscribe with the bell notification, because I don't know when the fuck I'm going to post another one. So, but I'll do it. Talk to you guys next week.